Bank of Canada held rates steady for a sixth straight time. Toronto mortgage delinquencies jumped 60% in a year. And Ontario's HST Rebate is pulling buyers back into new construction. Here's your Mortgage Minute for July 17th. First, the Bank of Canada held its overnight rate at 2.25% on Wednesday. That's the sixth hold in a row. That leaves prime at 4.45%. Inflation ticked up to 3.2% in May on higher gas prices, but the bank is treating that as temporary. What's actually moved is bond yields, which set fixed mortgage pricing, and those have been creeping higher on the same oil price story. Variable rate holders will see no change this week, and fixed rate shoppers are looking at a slightly less favorable environment than earlier this year. Second, mortgage arrears across Canada have climbed to 0.28% of all outstanding mortgages. Ontario has now overtaken the national average for the first time in over a decade. And in Toronto, the delinquency rate has jumped from 0.15% to 0.24% in a single year. It's an increase of about 60%. Economists note that most people who locked into those ultra-low rates back in 2020 and 2021 have already renewed, so the sharpest payment shock may already be behind us. If you do have a renewal coming up, though, this is the kind of environment where planning early beats waiting for that letter from the bank. Third, Ontario's removal of the HST on new homes worth up to $130,000 on homes up to $1.5 million is starting to show up in buyer interest across the GTA, especially for pre-construction. It now applies to a much wider group of buyers than before. If a new build is on your radar, the rebate changes the cash you need at closing, and that changes what you qualify for. I was actually talking to a real estate agent just the other day who is working at a new build site, and she said it's been very busy. So variable rate holders, nothing changes this week. If you're renewing soon, plan early. If a new build is on your radar, it's worth running the numbers. And if you renewed in 2023 or 2024 at one of those higher rates, today's environment makes refinancing worth a second look, especially if you're carrying a credit card or line of credit debt. Call me or text me at 249-480-1249 if you'd like to talk about any of these items or anything to do with your mortgage or your plans. Have a great weekend.